This is the course for uh, forklift. Let's start the course. Introduction of the course. Welcome.
Welcome. According to OSHA, dangers while operating powered industrial trucks can include collisions, falls, tip-overs, and struck by impacts. To prevent these accidents, it's imperative that all operators receive the proper training and certification. This course will cover the various safety procedures and preventative measures that can help decrease powered industrial truck hazards. It will also cover different parts of forklifts you will need to understand as a forklift operator, as well as safety tips specific to forklifts. Student performance objectives. After this course, trainees will be able to identify the parts of a forklift, identify and explain different types of powered industrial trucks and their uses, explain safety procedures and preventative measures that can reduce or eliminate powered industrial truck hazards, describe how to maneuver a forklift safely, including in busy work sites and low visibility conditions, and perform a pre-operation inspection and checklist of a powered industrial truck and recognize defects during operation. Who should take the course? This course is useful for powered industrial truck operators to receive certification. Note the minimum age requirement for receiving forklift certification is 18 years old. Employers who must ensure each operator is competent to operate a powered industrial truck safely can learn more about the training and evaluation requirements for powered industrial truck operators per OSHA Standard 1910.178. At the end of Module 6, you'll be able to download the Forklift Operator Evaluation Checklist. Provide this checklist to your trainer or supervisor upon completion of this course so they can assess your technical proficiency. Course outline. This course consists of the following modules. Introduction. Module 1, Introduction to Powered Industrial Trucks. Module 2, Operating a Powered Industrial Truck. Module 3, Powered Industrial Truck Hazards. Module 4, Inspections and Maintenance. Module 5, Related Regulations and Resources. And Module 6, Forklifts. Navigating the course. This course is designed to display responsively on the size of the device you are using. Some buttons or elements may look a little different depending on the size of your screen. Each module of the course consists of several sections. From the title page for each section, click Continue to begin. Then, simply scroll down to read the content and interact with any videos or links that may be present in that section. Course duration. This course includes 2 hours of content. Course quizzes and exam. You will take a quiz at the end of each module to gauge your understanding of the content. You must pass each quiz with a minimum score of 80% before you may proceed to the next module. At the end of the course, there will be a 20-question multiple-choice final exam. You must earn a minimum of 70% on the final exam to receive a certificate of completion and graduate the course. Module 1, Introduction to Powered Industrial Trucks. Module Objectives. In this module, you will learn about the main classes of powered industrial trucks, as well as their power sources. You will also learn when powered industrial trucks can be operated safely and when they cannot. After this module, you should be able to 1. List the Occupational Safety and Health Administration's, OSHA's, 7 main classes of powered industrial trucks. 2. Describe OSHA's training requirements for operators of powered industrial trucks. 3. Name the 2 main power sources for powered industrial trucks. And 4. Describe safe and unsafe uses for powered industrial trucks. Powered Industrial Trucks 101. Powered industrial trucks can be used to raise, lower, or remove large objects or several smaller objects on pallets or in boxes, crates, or other containers. They include powered industrial trucks, pallet jacks, telehandlers, and other specialized industrial trucks. Powered industrial trucks can either be ridden by the operator or controlled by a walking operator. Regardless of the task of the operator, the greatest risk of injury or incident is when the operator is not properly trained in how to safely operate a powered industrial truck, does not successfully understand the physics behind carrying a load with a powered industrial truck, and recklessly operates the powered industrial truck. OSHA requires employers to ensure that each powered industrial truck operator is competent to operate a powered industrial truck safely, as demonstrated by the successful completion of training and evaluation. Employers must also certify in writing and identify by name each operator who has been trained, when they were trained, the date of evaluation, and the identity of the person performing the training and/or evaluation. Only someone who has the necessary knowledge, training, and experience should conduct this training. Formal instruction should include the following: lectures, discussions, interactive computer learning, videotape, and written material. After formal training comes practical training, which should include the following: demonstrations performed by the trainer, practical exercises performed by the trainee, and an evaluation of operator performance in the workplace. Proper operator training is not only important to prevent injury, but also property damage. Powered industrial trucks are large vehicles that can cause astounding amounts of damage to property, products, and facilities. Although human injury is the more serious potential risk when operating powered industrial trucks, property damage occurrences are much more common. Power sources. In the future, OSHA predicts that powered industrial trucks may have alternate fuel capabilities that may include fuel cells and other hybrid systems. Hydrogen fuel cells can be emission-free, operate quietly, and refueled quickly. Hybrid systems in the future will be able to use these fuel cells in combination with electric batteries. Several manufacturers are exploring these alternate fuel capabilities and weighing the benefits. One benefit of powering trucks with alternate fuel methods is that using cleaner energy reduces the impact on the environment. For the time being, however, powered industrial trucks are all powered by one of two main power sources. 1. Electric battery. An electric battery is rechargeable and produces zero emissions. It also runs more quietly than internal combustion engine trucks. And 2. Internal combustion engine, or IC. This traditional powered industrial truck engine operates on gasoline, diesel, liquid petroleum gas, LPG, compressed natural gas, or other fuel. Electric-powered industrial trucks produce no emissions and eliminate the possibility of any carbon monoxide poisoning. They are mostly found in indoor environments like warehouses. They also run much more quietly than internal combustion engine trucks. There are some hazards to be aware of with electric trucks, however. Electric trucks are powered by large batteries, which must be charged frequently. Typically, your employer will have a designated powered industrial truck charging area for all of the trucks that are all powered by electric batteries. Within this designated charging area, you will find an eyewash station, various warning signs, and some other basic safety equipment in case of an emergency. Be sure to ask your employer who is responsible for charging or changing the batteries, because if it's you, there is additional training you need to safely do so. Changing or charging a battery involves additional potential hazards, such as acid spill or splash, short circuits, and hydrogen fumes. Additionally, you must be trained in proper personal protective equipment, PPE, before changing or charging a powered industrial truck battery. Internal combustion engine trucks can run on several different fuel types, such as gasoline, diesel, liquid petroleum gas, and compressed natural gas. Almost all trucks used outdoors will use internal combustion engines. Internal combustion engine trucks require regular maintenance to ensure all parts of the truck are functioning properly and that there are no fuel leaks. Refueling is a quick and simple process. Using internal combustion engine trucks presents an increased risk of exposure to exhaust fumes, which constitute carbon monoxide and loud noise. Some of the hazards to be aware of when operating internal combustion engine trucks include spills, oil leaks, and carbon monoxide exposure. When refueling your truck, try not to spill any fuel because it is highly flammable. If your truck uses liquid petroleum gas, only trained and authorized individuals should replace the containers. You will learn about the different classes of electric and internal combustion engine-powered industrial trucks, as well as their associated hazards in the next section. Classes of powered industrial trucks. OSHA established guidelines for the safe use of powered industrial trucks in the workplace with standard 1910.178 powered industrial trucks. OSHA also identifies 7 main classes of powered industrial trucks, and they each have their own intended proper and safe use. The classes of powered industrial trucks are Class 1, electric motor rider trucks. Class 2, electric motor narrow aisle trucks. Class 3, electric motor hand trucks or hand or rider trucks. Class 4, internal combustion engine trucks, solid or cushion tires. Class 5, internal combustion engine trucks, pneumatic tires. Class 6, electric and internal combustion
engine tractors. Okay. And rough terrain forklift trucks. Okay, why is the voice stop? Let's check. I don't know. There is a problem. Let's continue. Okay. Let's see.
Class 1, electric motor rider trucks.
It's repeated again.
Class 1 trucks operate on an electric power source. This style of powered industrial truck comes equipped with either pneumatic tires or cushion tires. Class 1 cushion-tired trucks are designed for indoor usage and preferably for smooth surfaces. Class 1 trucks with pneumatic tires are designed to handle rugged, outdoor areas. This class is typically used on a loading dock or in a storage facility. Sometimes they are found in environments that require air quality factors to be considered. Class 2, electric motor narrow aisle trucks. Class 2 trucks operate on an electric power source. These trucks are used by companies that have narrow aisles in their warehouses or storage facilities. They allow companies to maximize their storage space rather than using larger trucks in their facilities. Class 2 powered industrial trucks are defined by their unique narrow features that minimize their occupied space while maximizing efficiency and speed. Class 3, electric motor hand trucks. Class 3 powered industrial trucks operate on an electric power source. They are different from the previous two classes because the operator stands in front of the truck to operate it. The operator of a Class 3 truck uses a steering tiller, which moves it from side to side. All of the operator controls can be found on top of the tiller. This class is much smaller than the previous two classes, and it can sometimes be powered by smaller industrial batteries. Class 4, internal combustion engine trucks, solid or cushion tires. Class 4 powered industrial trucks operate on internal combustion engines with fuel, as opposed to electric-powered trucks. Class 4 powered industrial trucks are usually used indoors on smooth floors. They're used to load, transport, and unload palletized loads in warehouses and other storage environments. Since this class utilizes cushion tires, the truck is lower to the ground. When navigating indoor warehouse environments, this can be beneficial because some areas may have low clearances or pass-throughs. Class 5, internal combustion engine trucks, pneumatic tires. Class 5 powered industrial trucks operate on internal combustion engines. Overall, they're the most common class of powered industrial trucks that you will find for either inside or outside use. Class 5 trucks are used in warehouse environments indoors, as well as in outdoor areas with rougher terrain. Class 6, electric and internal combustion engine tractors. Class 6 tractors are versatile and can be operated in many different areas or environments. This class is equipped with an electric power source if it is for indoor usage, or an internal combustion engine if it is for outdoor usage. Class 7, rough terrain forklift trucks. Unlike the previous classes, Class 7 powered industrial trucks have a very specific type of usage. This class is equipped with a large set of tires that are designed for heavy outdoor use on uneven terrain or rough surfaces. This is the most common class of powered industrial truck that you can find at a construction site that transports materials to various sites. It is also commonly used when lifting materials to various height levels is required. Class 7 powered industrial trucks are also found in lumber yards and auto recycle sites. As a Class 7 operator, you will most likely work on steep slopes and other unstable surfaces. Due to the much larger size of Class 7 trucks and the uneven surfaces they operate on, you must exercise extra caution when driving to avoid accidental tip-overs or other collisions.
This is the next part. We will continue later is the introduction to the forklift basics. We will continue the course. Introduction to forklift basics.
When to use a powered industrial truck. It is legal to operate a powered industrial truck only if you are 18 years of age or older and if you have already received the proper training and are certified to operate one. As an operator, you must understand the hazards associated with operating a powered industrial truck so you can take the necessary precautions to remain safe. You must complete the following training steps to be a certified powered industrial truck operator. 1. You should have formal classroom or virtual training that teaches you the basics of how to safely operate a powered industrial truck. 2. Participate in hands-on training on the controls of the powered industrial truck that you will be operating. And 3. You should be evaluated by a powered industrial truck trainer who is authorized to observe and assess your practical skills. Prior to operating your powered industrial truck, you must perform a daily pre-use inspection. This is when you physically examine your powered industrial truck for any defects or abnormalities. If you find anything out of the ordinary or defective, you should notate it on your daily inspection sheet and notify a supervisor or member of maintenance so they can fix the defects before you operate the equipment. Pre-operation inspections will be covered in greater detail in Module 5, Inspections and Maintenance. When operating a powered industrial truck, your environment should set you up to operate safely. Some items that can help create a safe environment for you to operate are well-lit areas, even surfaces with no debris or wetness, speed limits, stop signs at crossings, and clearly marked aisles. When not to use a powered industrial truck. It is against federal law to operate a powered industrial truck if you are under 18 years of age and/or you have not been properly trained and certified to operate one. Operating a powered industrial truck safely means being aware of the areas or environments in which you should avoid operating. When in a hazardous environment, you should use only a powered industrial truck that is approved to operate in that type of atmosphere. OSHA defines 3 classes of hazards that you may encounter with your powered industrial truck. Class 1 environments contain flammable gases or vapors. Class 2 environments contain combustible dust. And Class 3 environments contain easily ignited fibers. General environments that do not include any of the above hazards are considered unclassified. OSHA also has 2 divisions of hazard classifications. Division 1 environments have high potential for hazards, and Division 2 environments have lower potential for hazards to develop. OSHA has several tables and graphs that can help you understand if your powered industrial truck is approved to enter a hazardous area and safely operate based on the hazardous area and your truck's designation. If you're uncertain if you should be operating your truck in a certain area, consult with a supervisor in the area to confirm if it is a safe operating environment for you and your powered industrial truck. Module Review. In this module, you covered the basics of powered industrial trucks and the main classes of powered industrial trucks as defined by OSHA. You learned about the different power sources for powered industrial trucks, as well as the proper safety precautions to operate them. Some key takeaways from this module include: use a powered industrial truck only to carry materials, never to lift or move people or other vehicles. OSHA requires that all operators of powered industrial trucks complete formal and practical training. OSHA defines 7 different classes of powered industrial trucks that each have a specific intended use. Powered industrial trucks have one of 2 different power sources, electric battery or an internal combustion engine. As a powered industrial truck operator, you must be aware of the environments in which you should avoid operating. Trucks with pneumatic tires are typically designed to be used in outdoor environments. And trucks equipped with cushion tires are typically designed to be used in indoor environments like warehouses.
Yeah, this concludes Module 1, Introduction to Power the Industry Trucks. Let's continue. Okay, let's continue. The next. This is the quiz. Okay, number of question 5, passing score 80. Just 1 minute. We will continue. Here, this is the assessment. Okay, let's continue to the assessment. When operating a Class 3 electric motor hand truck. The operator uses the control in the back of the forklift. Uses the control in the bottom of the forklift. Stand in front of the forklift. Stand behind the forklift. Number 3, stand in front of the forklift. Using A and dot plank forklift present an increased risk of exposure to exhaust flame. Using an internal combustion engine, rough terrain, electrical battery forklift, electrical motor hand. Exhaust fumes. This internal combustion engine, I think, is exhaust fume. Forklifts that utilize cushion tires are higher to the ground, are lower to the ground, require internal combustion engine, require an electrical power source. Okay. Require internal combustion engine, I think. Class 1 dot tires. Tired forklifts are designed for indoor usage on smooth surface. Class 1 pneumatic cushion large small tired. You are on a construction site and will be working on steep slope in addition to frequently transporting material to the other sites. Which forklift class is the best suited for this scenario? You are on construction site, okay? So, and will be working on steep slopes in addition to frequently transferring material. Class 1 electrical motor rider cushion tired truck. Class 2 electrical motor narrow aisle truck. Class 5 internal combustion engine truck. Class 5 rough terrain forklift truck. I think it will be class 1, class 2, class 4. I think class 4 internal combustion. Let's submit. Your answer is 40. This one is correct. When operating a class. Okay. Okay, this is number 1. Standard for in front, this is correct one. This one also. Second one, the forklift for created using a internal combustion engine forklift is for exhaust fumes. Yeah, forklifts that utilize cushion tires. Okay, this is not connect, not required internal combustion. Okay, and this one, class 1 tire is not correct, and this one not correct. Okay, let's retry. Net number of attempts to 1000. Okay, so we will try, and after this we'll continue the next one. Okay, this is the correct answer. Class 1. Okay. Cushion tired forklifts are designed for indoor usage on smooth surfaces. Using an internal combustion engine forklift present an increased risk of exposure to exhaust fume. You are on construction site and will be working on steep slope in addition to frequently transporting material to other sites. Which fork class is the best suited for this scenario? It's class V11 rough terrain forklift truck and forklifts that utilize cushion tires. The correct answer are lower to the ground. When operating a class 3 electrical motor hand truck, the operator stands in front of the forklift. Let's continue. Okay. Operating a powered industrial truck.
Module 2. Operating a powered industrial truck. Module Objectives. In this module, you will cover the best practices for operating powered industrial trucks around pedestrians. You will learn about safe loading procedures and how to operate a powered industrial truck in hazardous conditions due to debris, unstable ground, and weather. After this module, you should be able to 1. State the best practices for operating powered industrial trucks in busy work sites. 2. Explain the importance of safe load handling procedures. And 3. List safety tips for operating a powered industrial truck in hazardous conditions. Right-of-way. How many workers are injured as a result of misusing powered industrial trucks? Too many. U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics show that close to 100 workers lost their lives, and more than 1,000 suffer non-fatal injuries each year due to forklift incidents. Being aware of your surroundings and giving pedestrians the right-of-way will help prevent injuries and possibly save lives. Even if you are being rushed, take your time and do what is right. Just as when you are driving a car, pedestrians always have the right-of-way when you are operating a powered industrial truck. Always keep a safe distance from pedestrians. If you are approaching someone while operating your truck, warn them of your approach by sounding your horn, making eye contact, using hand signals, and flashing warning lights. If the pedestrian walks across your planned route, stop your truck and wait until the pedestrian is at a safe distance before you continue to drive. When traveling near another powered industrial truck or machine, keep about 3 truck lengths, which is approximately 20 feet, away from the other vehicle. If you need to pass another truck or machine, sound your horn and never pass if it is in a blind spot, aisle, intersection, or other dangerous location. Safe loading procedures. Because of the expansive range of equipment used and the variety of the material handled, each company may have additional rules for loading and unloading to fit their exact needs of their facility. This section will be a general guide for you to follow, but remember to review any company or site-specific procedures for moving material. Before you lift, move, or transport any material, check for the following. The material is stable and no parts will slide or fall during transport. If necessary, secure your material for transport. Heavier objects should be closer to the cab of the powered industrial truck than lighter items. The dimensions and the weight of the load fall within the capacity of the truck you're using. And if the load exceeds your truck's capacity, can you break the material into smaller parts to transport? If the material is too long or high and may affect the truck's capacity or your visibility, try to adjust it, but never adjust the load while it is in the air or while you are traveling. Driving under
Okay, we'll
hazardous
continue.
conditions.
So of course,
As the
driving
operator of your
under
powered
hazardous
industrial
conditions.
truck, it is your responsibility to be aware of potential dangers such as debris, puddles of liquid, or unstable ground. If there is liquid on the ground, follow your company's cleanup policy. If you realize you are traveling on a wet surface, never slam on your brakes or accelerate abruptly. Be aware of the type of surface you are traveling on. A smooth surface creates less friction, making it harder for you to brake. The condition of the tires in your truck also affects the braking capacity. As is true of cars, every powered industrial truck brakes differently. Make sure you are aware of the braking capacity before you add material to your truck. If you are traveling in an area that may have wind, be mindful of how that will affect your truck, whether you are transporting material or not. Even while you are inside a building, a large door that is open near you could create a wind tunnel in the aisle you are in. Wind can be extremely dangerous to a truck carrying a large load. Not only would the wind knock over any material you are carrying, but it could potentially knock over your truck as well. If you are outside while the wind is picking up, be aware of any potential storms because rain or thunderstorms could become life-threatening. In addition to affecting the surface you are driving on, rain makes it harder to see what is in front of you and how far away it is. If you drive outside after a storm, be aware of puddles and avoid them if possible. They may be deeper than you expect. If you cannot avoid puddles, double-check the ground under the puddle to see if there is a pothole or sinkhole. When wind or storms are forecasted, your pre-operation inspection for the day becomes especially important. The winter season also affects your truck when operating outside. Similar to how you let your car warm up during cold weather, You must allow your truck the chance to warm up before traveling outside. Before traveling outside with your truck during the winter, check the surface outside for snow, ice, or black ice. Follow your company's policy to treat the surface. And ensure all covers are closed properly to prevent snow or ice from melting and entering any electronic components. Additionally, if your company allows them, special chains can be installed for extra grip when transporting material on snow or ice. Keep in mind that using your powered industrial truck outside during the winter will put extra wear and tear on it. Make sure you are properly tending to it throughout the season and at the end of every season to ensure your powered industrial truck has a long life. Ideally, like a car, powered industrial trucks should be kept inside during the winter when they are not being used. If you need to drive through a congested or cluttered area, walk through the path first to spot any problems. Move any objects that may be in your path and warn any pedestrians nearby, asking them to move if there is not enough room to proceed safely. Make sure to sound the horn at all blind corners, intersections, doorways, and aisles, as well as when you are in reverse. Do not move your truck until you can clearly see your path. If it is not possible to have a clear view, always have a spotter to help you travel. Module Review. In this module, you learned how to operate your powered industrial truck in busy work areas. You also covered safe loading procedures and how to operate a powered industrial truck under hazardous conditions. Some key takeaways from this module include, just like when you are driving a car, pedestrians always have the right of way. If you are approaching a pedestrian when you are operating a powered industrial truck, warn them of your approach by sounding your horn, using hand signals, or flashing warning lights. When loading your powered industrial truck, ensure the load is stable and the dimensions and weight fall within your truck's capacity. And always be mindful of your surroundings when operating your powered industrial truck. You should be aware of the condition of the ground, any debris in your path, and, if you are operating outside, the weather conditions.
Yeah, let's go to the next. Yeah, this is the assessment for the second module. Okay, this is assessment number 2. You should always keep fork low to the ground when traveling with or without material. Before operating your forklift, you check the weight and the height of material and see that it exceeds your lift capacity. What should your next step to be to ensure you can safely transfer the load, break the material into smaller loads before transporting it. Number 3, never adjust the fork unless the fork is in neutral and the brake is on. Number 4, to prevent snow or ice from melting and entering electronic components of the forklift during the winter, ensure all covers are closed properly. Which of the following is true about braking while operating the forklift on a smooth surface? Smooth surface will create less friction, making it hard to brake. Good. This is module number 2. Okay, let's take module number 3. Okay, it will continue.
Module Objectives. In this module, you'll review case studies of accidents involving powered industrial trucks and what can be learned from them. You will learn about common powered industrial hazards in workplaces as well as hazards caused by operators. Finally, you will cover how to avoid or eliminate these hazards while operating powered industrial trucks. After this module, you should be able to 1. Name workplace conditions that may cause hazards for operators. 2. Relate operational mistakes to powered industrial truck hazards and accidents. And 3. Describe safety procedures and preventative measures that can reduce or eliminate powered industrial truck hazards. Powered industrial truck accidents. Sometimes, accidents occur when operating a powered industrial truck. Accidents may range from collisions with fixed objects to collisions with other vehicles or powered industrial trucks and other related incidents. Powered industrial trucks are consistently in OSHA's list of the top 10 most frequently cited standards. For this reason, operating a powered industrial truck comes with serious responsibility. This section covers different case studies of powered industrial truck accidents. Case study number 1. One morning at a waste management facility in Maryland, USA, a forklift operator was tasked with using their Yale diesel-powered forklift to load empty recycle bins on a bed of a flatbed trailer so they could be transported to their next destination. The flatbed trailer was parked on a gravel surface and a concrete pad was located next to the trailer. The forklift operator was loading stacks of 10 bins at a time for a total weight of approximately 400 pounds for each stack. 2 of the bins from a previously loaded stack had fallen off the flatbed trailer onto the gravel surface next to the flatbed trailer. The forklift operator began to attempt to reload the 2 fallen bins by driving over to them. When the operator drove over to the fallen bins, one of the forklift tires sank into a deep rut that was in the gravel surface. When the forklift tire sank into this rut, it caused the forklift to suddenly overturn or tip over, which resulted in the operator being crushed between the gravel surface and the forklift's roll cage. The employee did not survive the injuries from this incident. There are some lessons we can learn from this tragedy. As stated several times in this course, you must always be aware of the surfaces that you are traveling on so you can avoid uneven terrain that would cause your forklift or the load you are carrying to become unstable. Also, if your powered industrial truck does begin to tip over in a worst-case scenario, remember to keep all your limbs inside the truck and avoid reaching out to brace the fall, as that increases your chances of becoming pinned or suffering severe injury. Case study number 2. In the next case, an employee obtained an electric pallet jack and drove it to a stack of products that needed to be moved across the floor to the order selector lines. After delivering the products, the employee drove the pallet jack back to where he had obtained it. He let the handle of the pallet jack move upward to its normal position to apply the brake while he stepped off the pallet jack. However, the pallet jack failed to stop. The employee's foot was crushed between the pallet jack and some nearby stairs, resulting in his hospitalization. The employee later stated that he operated that same pallet jack a week prior and he noticed the brakes weren't functioning properly. He brought it to the attention of his foreman, who had instructed employees not to use the pallet jack and planned to place a sign on it that it should not be used. The sign was not placed on the pallet jack prior to the incident. This case reminds us of the importance of removing a powered industrial truck from service immediately when it has a defect or is in any way unsafe. The next module, Module 4, Inspections and Maintenance, covers when to remove powered industrial trucks from service in more detail. Case study number 3. In the last case we will investigate, a forklift operator working for Averitt Express Inc. was driving their forklift in reverse down an incline. While operating the forklift in reverse, the operator accidentally misjudged the direction and one of the forklift's tires went over the side of the incline ramp. When the tire went over the side of the ramp, it caused the forklift to fall off the side of the ramp. The operator was ejected from their seat and the top of the forklift landed directly on the employee's body. The operator was then pinned against the canopy of the forklift and the cement ground beneath. This individual did not survive the crushing injuries they sustained. Similar to the previous incidents we investigated, this was a preventable occurrence. If your powered industrial truck has one, you should always secure your seatbelt prior to operating it. When backing up on a ramp or similar incline with a steep fall on the side that is unprotected, you should reach out for the assistance of a spotter who can help you safely maneuver your truck in reverse off the steep platform. If you don't feel comfortable in a situation when operating your truck, immediately stop what you are doing and ask for help instead of risking an injury to yourself. Workplace hazards. As an operator, you need to be aware of potential hazards in your workplace. Not paying attention to these hazards will put you and everyone around you in danger. The following is a list of some of the hazards you should be aware of while operating your powered industrial truck. Expand each section to read more. Heavy traffic and narrow spaces. If you are driving down an aisle that is very crowded with workers or objects, walk down the aisle first. Make sure everyone is aware that you will be coming down with the truck in a moment and that they should remain a safe distance from you. Move any objects that may be in the way of your truck or any loose material on the floor. Doing this assures that you won't run anything over, damaging the item or your truck. If you come across a pedestrian while driving your powered industrial truck, recall from Module 2, Operating a Powered Industrial Truck, that the pedestrian always has the right of way. You must stop your truck and wait until they are a safe distance away before you continue your path. If they appear to be unaware that you are waiting for them, honk your horn and signal them with your hand or lights to move away to a safe distance. You should never assume where the pedestrian is going to walk, nor assume that they will be out of your way by the time you get to their location. If you need to turn at a congested intersection or have low visibility, stop before turning. Sound your horn so everyone can hear you coming around the turn, and take the turn very slowly. If possible, have a spotter in the intersection to pause traffic and create a clear path for you to travel on. Inclines. It is crucial that you never turn on an incline because this will shift the center of gravity of the truck to the side, causing it to tip over. If you need to make a turn, do so before or after the incline. Never speed or drive recklessly while on an incline. If your powered industrial truck has forks, always drive with the forks pointing upgrade when carrying material on an incline. This will prevent your material from sliding off. If you're traveling on an incline without material, always travel with the forks pointed down grade. This will help you with braking and traction while moving up or down the incline. Floor surfaces.
Floor surface.
Always be aware of the floor surface you are traveling on before transporting material, because it affects how the powered industrial truck will travel. The tires on your truck are also an important factor to consider with the floor type. For instance, if you're traveling on a smooth, slick surface with bare tires, it will affect how you brake. If you're traveling on rough terrain and your truck has forks, lift them a little higher to accommodate for uneven ground. This will prevent your forks from hitting the surface while you are driving over the rough terrain, possibly snapping a fork, tipping over, or dropping your material. Additionally, you will not need as much time to brake on rough terrain as you would if you were driving on a smooth, slick surface. Good housekeeping does wonders to improve the safety of you and everyone around you. For example, dry off the surface when possible if you are inside a building. If you must drive on a wet surface, slow down. If operating outside in the rain, drive slowly with caution and keep the brake of the truck dry and free of obstructions. Uneven surfaces are also a concern. Watch out for any cracks or potholes that may appear in the path that you are traveling. It may not seem like a big deal to drive over a crack or pothole, but this could lead to your truck and load being uneven and unstable, resulting in your material or truck tipping over. Recall how a deep rut on a gravelly floor surface caused the forklift from the first case study in this module to tip over. If possible, repair all cracks and potholes immediately and do everything possible to avoid them. Hazards caused by the operator. In addition to the hazards in the workplace that can cause danger to an operator, there are also hazards that can be caused by the operator. The best way you can prevent a hazard as an operator is to be properly trained. A few hazards that can be caused by the operator are the following: using wrong attachments, using the wrong type of powered industrial truck, overloading, neglecting maintenance requirements, and driving recklessly. You should always be aware of the attachment you have on, the approved task for that specific attachment, how it changes the capacity and stability of your truck, and how it changes the overall operation of your truck. If you need to change an attachment and the new one is heavier than the previous one you were using, remember that you can no longer transport the same weight of material you were transporting earlier. If you are unsure of what attachment you should be using, always ask a manager or look in your truck's manual. You will use different types of powered industrial trucks for different tasks. When choosing which truck to use, take into consideration the carrying capacity, how high you need to lift, and if you're going to be indoors, outdoors, or both. If you're unsure what truck to use for a certain situation, you should always ask a supervisor or look in the truck's manuals. Before you load your powered industrial truck, always check the weight of your material and make sure it is compatible with your truck's weight capacity. If you transport material that is over your truck's weight capacity, the truck could tip over, and if it is equipped with forks, they can break. While you're checking the weight of your material, double check that the material is stable and secure enough to transport. If the material is unstable or unsecure, the truck is at high risk of tipping over. If your material falls off your truck because you did not ensure it was stable or secure, it could potentially fall and land on a pedestrian, or it can fall and knock something else over, hitting or crushing a pedestrian. The material itself could potentially break, or it can break something that it hits while falling. An easy way to avoid all those hazards is by taking a couple extra minutes to make sure your material does not exceed your weight capacity and that it is stable and secure before transporting it. Real-world example. You are a certified powered industrial truck operator working for XYZ Warehousing Company. One of your daily tasks is to move heavy material from the assembly line into racks. After the assembly line has completed an item, it is marked for its weight so the truck operators can see. Your truck is rated to lift 6,000 pounds safely. You notice one of the items you must transport from the assembly line is marked at weighing 6,050 pounds. What should you do in this situation? A. Use your normal truck rated at 6,000 pounds to transport the material and drive slowly to avoid an accidental tip-over. B. Park your truck rated for 6,000 pounds in a safe area and acquire a truck with a load capacity rated higher than 6,050 pounds. C. Use your current truck to push the material across the floor until it is at its desired location in the warehouse. D. Ask another operator to lift the material with their truck and your truck at the same time to evenly distribute the weight. Proper maintenance of your powered industrial truck may seem like an
Correct.
inconvenience, but taking the time for daily checks can help prevent breakdowns and extend its life. Inspecting your powered industrial truck and performing the right maintenance helps you catch small problems before they become big issues. For instance, you should be checking the brakes daily to prevent a catastrophic and potentially deadly accident. If your truck has them, checking your tines daily is also important. If you drive with damaged tines, you could drop a heavy load, potentially breaking the material and tipping over your truck. Module 4, Inspections and Maintenance, will cover proper maintenance of powered industrial trucks in more detail. Remember, proper maintenance on your truck is one of the easiest ways to protect yourself and other employees. Reckless driving is another huge hazard that can be caused by the operator. When you drive recklessly, your chances of injuring yourself or someone else increase dramatically because you are not fully paying attention to what you are doing. By driving recklessly, you also put your truck at serious risk of tipping over. Whether you are speeding, racing, or just fooling around with your powered industrial truck, you are potentially putting your life and someone else's life in danger. Remember to always drive slowly and with caution. Incident reporting. When involved in an incident, you must report it to your supervisor immediately after confirming everyone is safe. You can improve the accuracy of your report by reporting the details immediately. Your company may have a policy that requires you to complete an incident report within a certain amount of time. Depending on the severity of the incident, you may also have to complete an OSHA report. It is best to always seek advice from your supervisor if you are unsure if an incident needs to be reported to OSHA or not. When reporting an incident, include the following information: type of incident, where it occurred, date and time of the incident, a description of who was involved, a description of what happened, any injuries, and any treatments that were required, and a list of any witnesses. Regardless of how minor you may think the incident is, you should always report it immediately. Reporting an incident immediately is required under the terms of workers' compensation policies. Whether you bumped into an object, damaged an item in the workplace, caused damage to the powered industrial truck, dropped material, tipped over, hit or injured a pedestrian, or injured yourself, it should be reported to your supervisor. When an incident happens, take control at the scene and try to restore order. If anyone is injured, provide first aid, then call for emergency services if necessary. Assess the area and prevent any potential secondary accidents from occurring. Identify anyone involved and conditions at the scene and preserve any physical evidence if necessary. You must report an incident to OSHA that involves one of the following: death, hospitalization, amputation, and loss of an eye. If it involves an inpatient hospitalization, amputation, or eye loss, you have 24 hours to report it to OSHA. A fatality must be reported to OSHA within 8 hours. Consult your supervisor if you want to know who owns this responsibility. Module review. In this module, you learned about common powered industrial truck hazards, such as busy work areas, inclines, and uneven floor surfaces. You also covered how operational mistakes can create hazards for powered industrial truck operators. Lastly, you learned that incidents must be reported to supervisors immediately and depending on the severity of the incident, it may need to be reported to OSHA. Some key takeaways from the module include: never turn or speed when operating a powered industrial truck on an incline. When choosing which powered industrial truck to use, consider the carrying capacity you will need, how high you need to lift, and where you will be operating the truck. Know your powered industrial truck's weight capacity, the material or load weight you are carrying, and whether it is stable. Report all incidents as required by OSHA and your company's policy. Be aware of the path you're driving. And you must operate your powered industrial truck differently depending on the terrain you are operating on.
Yeah, this is the assessment for module 3. And let's continue the assessment. This number 1, you bumped into an object while driving your forklift. What should you do? You report it regardless of the severity of incident. You plan to drive your forklift in aisle that it is highly congested. What should you do? Walk down the aisle and warn everyone you will be driving down the aisle. What should you do to protect yourself during tip over? A. Hold on the steering wheel to try to remain stable. Number 4. Which of the following is true about turning on an incline? It will shift the center of the gravity of the forklift to the side, which may cause it to tip over. Number 5. When driving your forklift with the material on an incline, you should always drive with the forks pointing upgrade. Good. Okay. This is
Module objectives.
inspection and maintenance.
In this module, you will learn about OSHA's requirement to conduct pre-operation inspections and checklists before operating your powered industrial truck. You will learn about issues that require powered industrial trucks to be removed from service and the proper safety procedures to follow when they are under maintenance. By the end of this module, you will be able to: 1. Relate the importance of regular inspections and maintenance for preventing powered industrial truck hazards. 2. List issues that require a powered industrial truck to be removed from service. And 3. State safety procedures for powered industrial trucks under maintenance. Before you operate. Before operating your powered industrial truck, OSHA requires you to complete your pre-operation inspection and checklist. You should complete your pre-operation inspection and checklist before every shift, even if the truck has already been used that day. Checklists can vary by the type of powered industrial truck you are using. You can find sample checklists for different kinds of powered industrial trucks on OSHA's website. Check your manual for the specific inspection or checklist made for your powered industrial truck. You can also ask your supervisor to review these steps with you. Depending on your company, they may have an inspection and checklist sheet or book for you to review. They may also have you initial a sheet daily while you complete your inspection and checklist to hand in. This sheet should be turned into the proper personnel or placed in a safe place, depending on your employer's policy. If an accident occurs that requires OSHA's involvement, they will ask for proof of maintenance. This sheet that you fill out daily on your inspection and checklist will provide evidence if an accident occurs. Depending on the situation, if you complete your inspection and checklist properly and an accident occurs, you may not be held at fault. Completing the inspection and checklist before you operate your powered industrial truck could prevent hazards that could not only injure yourself and your truck, other workers around you, and the material you are transporting. Completing inspections and checklists will also help you properly take care of your powered industrial truck, prolonging its life. The below list includes a few, but not all, of the things you will need to check for during your pre-operation inspection and checklist. The fluid levels such as the engine oil, hydraulic oil, radiator, and the fuel are not too low. The battery is connected. The forks and masts are not bent, worn, or cracked. The tires are inflated and free of excessive wear or damage. The seatbelt is accessible and it is not damaged. The horn, lights, backup alarm, and turn signals all operate smoothly. The steering is smooth. The brake functions. And the engine runs smoothly and quietly with no leaks or sparks. As every powered industrial truck is different and every company has different policies, make sure you always review the pre-operation inspection and checklist for your specific truck before operating it. If something is not passing your pre-operation inspection or checklist, the problem needs to be reported to your supervisor immediately. Under no circumstances should you operate your powered industrial truck if an issue arises. If you see something wrong with it and you are not an authorized mechanic, never try to fix the issue yourself, no matter how simple it may seem. If you are unsure whether something you have spotted is an issue or not, never assume it is normal and continue with your inspection and checklist. Even if it may seem like a small issue to you, that issue can quickly become a hazard. Stop what you are doing and seek advice from your supervisor or an authorized mechanic. It is vital for yours and your coworkers' safety that your powered industrial truck is working in a proper and safe condition. After completing your inspection and checklist, you are responsible for keeping your powered industrial truck clean. If you notice it needs to be wiped down before you start using it, do so. Make sure it is clean before and after every shift. Use a suitable cloth to remove all dust, dirt, and grease from your powered industrial truck. If it has a cabin, make sure it is dry because any loose liquid in the cabin can cause multiple hazards. If needed, use a non-combustible solvent to clean it. You must also ensure there are no loose objects inside the cabin. A loose object moving around in the cabin of a powered industrial truck can get lodged under the brake pedal or accelerator. You can also step on a loose object while trying to get in or out of the powered industrial truck and fall, injuring yourself and potentially breaking something. Not only is it important that your powered industrial truck is prepared to operate by passing all the inspections and checklist, but it is also important that you are ready to operate your powered industrial truck. Before operating your powered industrial truck, you should be mentally prepared to operate an industrial vehicle. You should not operate the vehicle if you are drowsy or if you are under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that could cause impairment. You should also be dressed in appropriate safety workwear. This may have variations depending on the environment you are working in and the type of truck you are using. If you are unsure what is considered appropriate to wear while operating your powered industrial truck, ask your supervisor or check in your powered industrial truck's manual. Appropriate safety workwear includes the following. Safety steel cap boots prevent or mitigate injuries that may result from your foot being run over by a truck or crushed by a heavy load. Hard hats protect you from objects that might fall. Gloves protect your hands, but make sure they properly fit so you can still control the truck. Safety goggles keep your sight clear whether you are operating inside or outside. They will also protect your eyes from debris and dust, which can obstruct your vision and put yourself and others at risk. Remember that visibility is key when you are operating a powered industrial truck. Long sleeves and long pants protect your limbs, and a high visibility vest helps everyone around you see you. All workwear should fit you properly. You should never wear loose clothing while operating a powered industrial truck because it could get caught on the equipment or machinery. During operation, while you are operating your powered industrial truck, always check for defects as you would when driving your car. Watch out for the following when you are operating your powered industrial truck: leaks, cracks, and visible defects. Make sure your truck is not leaking gas, fluid from any lines, or air from the tires. Before you start transporting material, test all aspects of your forks and mast, if your truck has these, to make sure everything is working properly. While operating, ensure the lights are always working. If you start transporting material and then realize your forks are not working properly, it could lead to your material becoming unstable, tipping over your truck. Always remain alert so you can detect if your engine starts to overheat. Continuing to operate your truck while your engine is overheating presents a hazard to you and others. If the fluid level seems to be dropping faster than usual, something may be wrong with your engine or the fluid may be leaking somewhere. When to remove a powered industrial truck from service. Operating a defective powered industrial truck can be detrimental to your facility's safety.
Inspection and maintenance.
OSHA requires the removal of a powered industrial truck if it is defective, in need of repair, or is in any way unsafe. OSHA requires that all trucks pass an inspection and checklist before being placed into service. If any issues appear during your inspection or checklist, the powered industrial truck must not be operated until authorized personnel fixes the issue. When it is time to remove a powered industrial truck from service for maintenance, it must be performed in a designated area. A powered industrial truck may need to be removed from service because the engine is overheating. It has noticeable defects. It does not start. It failed an inspection. And it has been in a recent accident. An overheating engine is one of the most common types of engine malfunctions. This can be caused by low coolant levels or clogged radiator screens. Typically, this is something that should be caught during your pre-operation inspection and checklist. You can also check to make sure the thermostat is operating correctly and that it is being triggered once the temperature gets too high, allowing coolant into the engine. If your engine is overheating, it needs to be taken out of service for proper maintenance. Properly completing the pre-operation inspection and checklist should expose many noticeable defects that might cause hazards while you operate the powered industrial truck. Some common defects found during inspection are cracks on the forks, leaking fluid, clogged radiators, and poor tire condition. Tires on a powered industrial truck are as important as the tires on cars and trucks. They are under pressure of extremely heavy loads every day. Once tire condition deteriorates, this can have a major effect on the stability and safety of your powered industrial truck. After you complete the pre-operation inspection and checklist, your powered industrial truck should ideally start with no problems. However, if it doesn't, or if you shut it off mid-shift and try to turn it back on and it doesn't start, the cause could be something as simple as a dead battery or lack of fuel. Your first step should be to check the condition of the battery or fill it up and have the carburetor changed if necessary. If a source of power is not the issue, it may be due to overheating. If the problem is still not diagnosed, now is the time to contact the authorized person to perform maintenance on your truck. Unfortunately, accidents involving powered industrial trucks are common in the warehouse industry, especially where busy operations are involved or where safety standards are not adhered to. If your truck is in an accident, damages may not always be externally visible, which makes it even more dangerous to operate. Therefore, it is critical that your powered industrial truck is taken out of service after an accident for proper maintenance to be done on it. Real-world example. You are a certified powered industrial truck operator at Bill and Jill's Manufacturing. You have been using your truck for about 4 hours today. You suddenly start to smell a burning odor. You are unsure of the source of the smell. You don't see smoke coming from your powered industrial truck. You just received an alert telling you to transport material to the other side of the warehouse. What should you do? A. Turn the powered industrial truck off and place an out-of-service tag on it. Then contact your supervisor or maintenance to inspect the truck. B. Transport the load that you were assigned. Then turn off the truck and report the odor to your supervisor. C. Park the powered industrial truck at the charging station. Then go get a new truck to continue your assignment. D. With the powered industrial truck running, investigate on your own by removing the truck's cover and getting close to the engine to find the source of the odor. Powered industrial truck maintenance. There are two forms of maintenance that come with having a powered industrial truck in your facility. Corrective maintenance. Corrective maintenance occurs when a defect is discovered on your powered industrial truck. When a defect is found, your powered industrial truck must be removed from service until repaired by an authorized person. Preventative maintenance. Preventative maintenance is a proactive measure taken when your powered industrial truck gets scheduled maintenance by a skilled mechanic. Maintenance of powered industrial trucks must be done in a designated area. Never perform any kind of maintenance on your truck in the middle of your facility. This will put you and your truck in the path of other workers and trucks. If another operator doesn't see you, they can collide with you and your powered industrial truck. If you are authorized to perform maintenance on your powered industrial truck, you must be aware of your surroundings during repairs. Do not repair your truck in an area with a potentially flammable or combustible atmosphere. To prevent any accumulation of exhaust or gas fumes, make sure there is proper ventilation. A clean, uncluttered work area also reduces the possibility of accidents to you and the equipment. Before starting your repair, locate the nearest first aid and eye wash station in case of a hazard. Regardless of the repair you are making, always confirm your powered industrial truck is in neutral, the emergency brake is on, and the keys are removed. If you are working on the electrical system, you must also disconnect the battery before starting the repair. If you are modifying your powered industrial truck, make sure the replacement parts you are using are equivalent to the original manufactured part. You should never alter or eliminate any part of your powered industrial truck or add any accessories, such as additional counterweights or lifting attachments, unless the modification is approved by the manufacturer in writing. Maintaining a powered industrial truck according to the manufacturer's schedule keeps it in safe operating condition. As different powered industrial trucks require different scheduled maintenance, check with your truck's manual on which type of maintenance repair it needs and when maintenance should be done. Once the maintenance is completed, it is imperative that you keep record of what was done to the powered industrial truck, when and who completed the maintenance. If an incident occurs, you can review a record of when maintenance was done to the part of the truck that had the incident. Most electric-powered industrial trucks are designed to operate for one shift, then be charged overnight or during the next shift. Some workers routinely change batteries instead of charging them in the powered industrial truck. They remove the battery from the truck and charge the battery elsewhere while a charged battery is installed in its place. Only trained employees should charge and change batteries in electric-powered industrial trucks. If you are an authorized person to charge or change a battery, wear the following proper personal protective equipment, PPE, before changing a battery: face shield, safety goggles, neoprene or rubber gloves, and apron. Toward the end of the battery changing process, batteries can give off highly explosive hydrogen gas. Contact with battery cells can cause electrical short circuits, which can burn unprotected skin. The person authorized to charge and change batteries should also be trained on emergency procedures in the event of an acid splash. Always follow your company's specific safety procedures and seek immediate emergency services if you have been exposed to corrosive material. Verify you do not overcharge or undercharge your batteries, and never exceed the battery's manufacturer recommended service hours. When you are returning the battery to your truck, always do so with the lifting beam and secure it in place. Check the indicator on the hour meter to see if your battery is fully charged before returning to work. Like maintenance repairs, charging and changing the battery of your powered industrial truck should only be done in a designated area. If the battery designated area is different from your maintenance area, make sure it is also equipped with safety precautions, including a fire extinguisher. Be sure to recycle or properly dispose of batteries once they are no longer usable. Inactive batteries are a hazardous waste unless they are properly reclaimed at a lead smelter or battery recycler. Module Review. In this module, you learned that you must perform pre-operation inspections and checklists before each shift. You should never operate a powered industrial truck if you notice a defect, or if you find it is in any way unsafe during your inspection. You also learned that powered industrial trucks require preventative maintenance in addition to corrective maintenance. Lastly, you covered safety practices when powered industrial trucks undergo maintenance. Some key takeaways from this module include: always complete a pre-operation inspection and checklist. Powered industrial trucks need both corrective and preventative maintenance. Never operate a powered industrial truck if it requires maintenance. And always perform maintenance in designated areas.
Yeah, this is the assessment for module number 4. Here, this is the quiz for module number 4. The questions is number 1: during your pre-operation inspection and checklist, you notice your fork is leaking fluid. What you should do? Take the forklift out of service until authorized personnel can fix the issue. Number 2: which of the following is considered proper PPE gear for charging a battery in the forklift? Apron. Number 3: which of the following make use the overheat engine? Number B, clogged radiator screen. Number 4: before you shift, you wiped down your forklift and confirmed there are no loose objects in the cabinet. Which of the following option should you also do as a part of cleaning routine before and after each shift? Confirm the cabin is dry. Number 5: you had a minor collision with another forklift. What should you do before continuing to operate the forklift? Take the forklift out of service for proper maintenance. Okay, let's continue. Okay, we will continue here.
Module
This
objectives.
related regulation
In this module, you will
and
cover OSHA's
resources.
requirements for refresher training. You will also review the different topics covered in OSHA's Powered Industrial Truck Standard. Lastly, you will learn about additional resources available for powered industrial truck operators. After this module, you should be able to 1. Relate OSHA regulations to powered industrial truck safety. 2. State the importance of refresher training, especially after unsafe powered industrial truck operations. And 3. List OSHA and government resources that support workplace safety. OSHA and powered industrial trucks. OSHA has a specific standard that is focused on powered industrial trucks, which is found in 1910.178. This OSHA standard covers topics such as general powered industrial truck requirements, designated locations, different powered industrial truck types, maintenance, safety guards, changing and charging of batteries, lighting, fume control, safe operation, operator training, load stability, and many other important topics. This is important information to be aware of because any violations can result in hefty citations for a business. The language in the standard is intended to keep an operator of a powered industrial truck safe and to provide the business owner with the requirements they must follow. It is important to follow your training because this is one of the most cited standards. All powered industrial trucks that are in operation should meet the design requirements of the American National Standard for Powered Industrial Trucks, Part 2, ANSI B56.1, 1969. When do I need refresher training? OSHA Standard 1910.178L4 outlines the requirements for refresher trainings and evaluations. There are numerous circumstances that require a powered industrial truck operator to go through refresher training and evaluation. The first and most common reason for refresher training is the OSHA requirement that a powered industrial truck operator must receive a refresher performance evaluation every 3 years at a minimum. This standard also outlines that a powered industrial truck operator must receive refresher training when they have been observed operating the powered industrial truck in an unsafe manner. They have been involved in an accident with their powered industrial truck. They have had a near-miss incident with their powered industrial truck. They received an evaluation that reveals they are not operating the powered industrial truck safely. They have been assigned to a different type of powered industrial truck that they don't have training with. And the conditions of the workplace change in a way that could affect the safe operation of a powered industrial truck. During refresher training, try to avoid duplicate training. Once you have received training and have been evaluated, you are not required to perform more training in work conditions and types of powered industrial trucks that you have successfully demonstrated competency in. This can save you and your business time, as well as unnecessary paperwork and classroom time. Resources for operators. Below is a list of resources to read as a powered industrial truck operator. The Powered Industrial Trucks OSHA Standard 1910.178. The most recent Bureau of Labor Statistics information on forklift-related incidents, injuries, illnesses, and fatalities. The best OSHA resource for general overview and information on powered industrial trucks. An OSHA resource for daily pre-operation inspections based on different powered industrial truck styles and designs. And OSHA's interactive e-tool that teaches about forklift operation and additional info. Real-world example. You are a certified powered industrial truck operator working in a warehouse environment. You are operating your powered industrial truck around a sharp turn while transporting a load. The powered industrial truck slightly tips to the side, causing your wheels to come off the ground and your load almost falls off your forks. You get off your truck to observe no damage on the load or on the truck. Your supervisor is not around at the time, and no other individuals witnessed you operating the truck. As a trained powered industrial truck operator, what should your next step be? A. Report the near-miss incident to your supervisor immediately and let them know you will need refresher training and a new evaluation. B. Keep the near-miss to yourself since nobody got hurt and nothing was damaged. Don't waste your supervisor's time with extra paperwork. C. Inform your coworkers about your near-miss immediately so that it doesn't happen to them either. D. Tell HR immediately about the near-miss so they can write disciplinary action for your near-miss incident. Module Review. In this module, you covered OSHA's requirements for refresher trainings. You also learned about additional resources available on powered industrial truck operations. Some key takeaways from this module include: OSHA has a designated standard focused on safe powered industrial truck operations. Citations for incidents involving powered industrial trucks result in some of the most common citations delivered by OSHA each year. As a powered industrial truck operator, you're required under specific circumstances to complete refresher training and evaluations to maintain safe operation knowledge. And OSHA has many additional public resources to help operators learn more about powered industrial truck operations.
Let's continue. This is the quiz for module number 5. This is the quiz for module number 4. Which of the following is the most common reason OSHA requires a refresher training? A refresher performance evaluation every 3 years at minimum. The OSHA standards for powered industrial truck include topics such as general forklift requirements, designated location, different forklift types, maintenance, safety guards, changing and charging of batteries, lighting, fume control, safe operation, operator training, and load stability. Number 3, the warehouse you are working in has been remodeled. It has a narrow aisle and you will now need to drive your forklift on inclines. According to OSHA standard 1910.17814, what you should do: take a refresher trainer. Forklifts.
Module Objectives. In this module, you'll learn about the main safety features of forklifts and the best practices for safely operating them. You will also learn about the importance of checking your forklift's data plate. Lastly, you will cover the actions you should take if your forklift tips over. By the end of this module, you'll be able to: 1. Identify the different safety features of a forklift. 2. Explain the importance of safe load handling procedures. 3. Describe how to start and stop a forklift. 4. List safety tips for conducting forklift maneuvers at a busy worksite. And 5. Describe the actions to take during a tip-over incident. Forklift 101. A forklift is the most common type of powered industrial truck that is intended to move, push, pull, lift, and carry material. Like all powered industrial trucks, forklifts can vary in size, load capacity, and their power source. Driving a forklift is different from driving a car because the steering wheels are in the rear as opposed to a car where the front wheels are used for steering. This causes the back end of the forklift to swing, which allows the front of the forklift to guide the load into the correct position. When the back end of the forklift swings during turns, you must remain aware of the surrounding space to avoid collisions. According to the latest data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, an average of 87 workers lose their lives to forklift-related incidents each year. This does not include the 8,674 workers on average who suffered from non-fatal injuries or illnesses because of powered industrial truck-related incidents. The Bureau of Labor Statistics and NIOS state that the most common types of forklift-related injuries occur when workers are struck by, crushed, or pinned by a forklift, the forklift overturns or tips over, and workers fall from a forklift. Forklift safety features. A forklift has several different built-in safety features that you should be aware of. Click each tab to learn more.
Overhead, guard, operator restraints, mast, backrest extension. Let's start with
backrest extension.
This one.
The backrest extension helps ensure loads do not fall rearward toward you while you're operating the forklift. Overhead guard. The overhead guard on the forklift is positioned above the operator's seat
Overhead
and provides a
guard.
safe area that protects you from certain accidental impacts. The overhead guard is not designed to protect the operator from a full load impact. Mast. The mast maneuvers the load by
Mast.
lifting, lowering, and positioning. Masts on most newer forklift models allow the operator to travel safely in a forward direction with a better view. Operator restraints. Operator restraints are similar to seatbelts in a car, but in a forklift, the restraints are usually only lap belts with a latch. You must wear the restraint to protect you from the common forklift-related injuries that result when tip-overs throw the operator outside of the protective caging. Forklift data plates. You can find essential information about your forklift on its data plate, such as the rated maximum capacity, the operating weight, the hazard designation, the model and serial numbers, any attachments, and its load capacity chart in the forklift's data plate. Locating the data plate and understanding your forklift's maximum capacity, load center dimensions, and safe load height are essential for proper operation of your forklift. Some manufacturers designate the load capacity chart as a table by giving the maximum weight lifted at different mass stages for different load centers. Other manufacturers provide this information in a chart to highlight the differences between the different factors. Checking your forklift's hazard designation is important before operating because some forklifts are not equipped to operate in certain hazardous areas. For most forklift uses, you will encounter an unclassified designated forklift. OSHA's website has resources that can help you determine if your forklift can operate in a hazardous area. If you are uncertain if you should be operating your forklift in your work area, consult with a supervisor in the area to confirm if it is a safe operating environment for you and your specific forklift. If you are unable to locate or read your forklift data plate, you should find a supervisor to assist you. You should not operate a forklift without knowing the lift safe capacities or other features. Forklift stability. Imagine a playground teeter-totter that tips back and forth as different weights and momentum are applied to each side. The point or support on which the teeter-totter rests is called a fulcrum. A forklift also has two weights, the load it is carrying and a counterweight. The fulcrum principle explains that in order to maintain stability, the counterweight should always outweigh the load that you are going to carry with the forks. The fulcrum point on your forklift is located at the front axle, and if the center of gravity shifts past that, your forklift will tip. You will learn more about this concept in the stability triangle section. Loads come in various sizes, shapes, and weights. It is unlikely you will always carry or lift perfectly symmetrical loads. Your forklift's capacity and stability are affected by the load size, weight, and dimensions. As an operator, make sure you always consider this when carrying a load. Terrain is an environmental factor to consider when operating your forklift. Uneven terrain can cause the forklift's center of gravity to shift, especially when you are carrying a load with weight. When approaching an incline, be sure to operate your forklift with the load facing the uphill side of the incline. Operating with the load facing downhill is dangerous because it makes the load unstable and may cause you to lose control. Some general best practices to keep your forklift stability under control and avoid collisions, tip-overs, or dropping of loads are: tilt the forks forward only when depositing or lifting a load, not when transporting. Do not tilt the mast backwards towards yourself any farther than necessary to stabilize the load. Drive at safe speeds and slow significantly when turning. Operate at slow speed on wet surfaces to allow safe stopping. Avoid driving over rough terrain with holes or uneven surfaces. Always keep the forks low when traveling. And make sure the load is centered on the forks and is stable. The stability triangle. Most forklifts have a stability triangle, which is a three-point suspension system that supports the forklift. The stability triangle has support at the two front wheels and the center of the rear axle. Naturally, the center of gravity is in the middle of the triangle when you are not carrying a load. In order to safely carry a load, the center of gravity needs to remain within the stability triangle. When you carry a load with weight, the center of gravity begins to move closer towards the front axle of your forklift. This is referred to as the longitudinal stability. As the center of gravity shifts towards the edge of the stability triangle at the front axle, the load you are carrying becomes unsafe to move. When a load creates a center of gravity over the front axle, It can cause your forklift to tip forward, resulting in serious injury to yourself as well as damaging the material you are carrying and your forklift. If the center of gravity shifts outside the stability triangle on the right or left side, your forklift can tip over sideways. For this reason, you need to remain aware of the center of gravity in order to keep it within the side boundaries of your stability triangle. This is referred to as maintaining lateral stability. An additional factor to consider as an operator is the way the load you are carrying can shift due to dynamic stability. Dynamic stability is the idea that braking suddenly, making sharp turns, or driving at fast speeds can all alter the center of gravity. These sudden or fast movements can cause the load to move outside the stability triangle, which may cause your forklift to suddenly tip over, even though the load was once within the stability triangle. The last important aspect of your stability triangle is being aware of the vertical carry height of your load. The higher you carry the load, the more the center of gravity shifts towards the front of the stability triangle. You should never drive your forklift while carrying a load with the forks greater than 6 inches in height off the ground, as this alters your center of gravity, making it unsafe to operate the forklift. Forklift load capacity. A forklift's load capacity describes its weight with a specific load center. Your forklift may be rated to lift 8,000 pounds, but that maximum capacity can be decreased based on the shape of the load that you're carrying. Material with longer load centers cannot be as heavy as shorter material due to the physics involved with forklift counterweights. The maximum capacity of a forklift is affected by high lifting heights, large load centers, added fork attachments, and other factors. Forklift attachments should each have their own manufacturer maximum rated capacity. The maximum load capacity of your forklift must be determined by the lowest maximum capacity of any of the parts of the forklift. Recall this information can be found on the forklift's data plate. Operating a forklift. Safely operating a forklift requires thorough inspection beforehand and careful maneuvering to maintain control at all times. This section covers basic pre-operation checklist items, how to start and park forklifts, and best practices for making safe maneuvers when operating forklifts. Before operation. Before you operate your forklift, be sure to complete the following essential checklist items to help prevent injuries. 1. Inspect the forklift to make sure nothing is damaged or leaking. Make sure the horn, lights, brakes, and steering wheel all work properly. Remember, if you find that the forklift needs a repair, is defective, or is in any way unsafe, do not use it. Keep in mind, these are only the basic pre-operation checklist items. You should check your forklift manual for a more specific checklist from its manufacturer. Starting a forklift. After your checklist is complete, perform the following steps to safely start the forklift. 1. Grab the handlebar, place your foot on the step, and lift yourself onto the seat. Making safe maneuvers. The most essential rule for traveling with your forklift is always maintaining control. Under all travel conditions, you should be able to safely bring your forklift to a stop at any moment. In order to move the forklift, follow the below steps. 1. Locate the shifter on the left. Verify with your supervisor whether your facility has a designated direction of travel for forklifts. Some facilities implement rules that require the operator to move the forklift only in reverse to avoid blind spots that are caused from the massed or carried material. While driving, always maintain approximately 3 truck lengths away from any forklifts or other machines surrounding you. Maintain a slow speed and be vigilant of your surroundings. When increasing speed, do so at a slow rate and never exceed a speed at which you can't control your forklift and stop immediately if necessary. When making a turn, move your steering wheel in the direction you want to drive. If you want to make a sharp angle turn, wait until the back of the forks, also known as the tines, reaches the corner before starting your turn. If you are making a sharp turn while going in reverse, start making a right angle turn when the front wheels are 3 feet away from the corner. This is necessary because forklifts have rear wheel steering. Never make a turn on a ramp or incline because it could be extremely dangerous. Instead, turn prior to the ramp or incline and always travel with the load pointing up the incline. If you are traveling without a load, the fork should always point down the incline. Parking a forklift. Once you are ready to stop your forklift, follow the below steps. 1. Find a safe location to park the forklift. The next section will cover safe parking. You may now exit the forklift safely. Ask your supervisor where to place the forklift keys when you're done operating your forklift. Avoid parking your forklift near exits or paths of pedestrian travel. When you are planning to dismount the forklift, always try to select a level surface to park on. If the forklift is parked on an incline, you must place a chock or wedge under one of the tires to prevent it from rolling away if the parking brake fails. Even if you plan to stay within 25 feet of the forklift, you must lower the forks to the ground when you dismount to prevent a tripping hazard. You must also set the brakes. When parking a forklift, find a location that does not block an exit or doorway, first aid station, fire extinguishing equipment, other vehicles, or pedestrians in the workplace. Real-world example. You are a certified forklift operator, and you are carrying a load on your forks a few inches above the ground as you should be. You are in a warehouse environment and begin to approach a downhill incline. How should you safely maneuver the incline to keep transporting the load to its destination? A. Drive down the hill with the forks pointing down the incline. B. Drive down the hill in reverse with the forks pointed up the incline. C. Drive in an S pattern down the hill while keeping the forklift steady. D. Push the load down the incline. Remember to keep the
Drive
below safe
down.
driving tips in mind.
Point
When
down.
traveling in the same direction as
Drive
other forklifts, never
Okay.
pass them if it is in a blind spot, intersection, or other dangerous location. Always keep a clear view of the path you are traveling. Never stunt drive or engage in horseplay. Whenever you are crossing an aisle or other location where your view is obstructed, slow down and sound the horn. Never let anyone work or stand under the elevated forks, even if your forks are not carrying a load. Never allow a passenger unless the forklift was designed for it. Make eye contact with pedestrians and other forklift operators to avoid incidental contact or collision. And never run over loose objects in your path. Safe loading procedures. Recall from Module 2, operating a powered industrial truck, that you must ensure your load is stable and falls within your truck's capacity before you lift any material. Once you're ready to transport your material, perform these steps. Click each tab to learn more. 1. Stop your forklift about 1 foot away from the material. Press the brake pedal and shift gears to neutral so you can adjust the fork. Never adjust the fork unless the forklift is in neutral and the brake is on. If you are placing the material on the ground, you don't need to adjust the height. If you're placing it at a higher location, follow the below steps. 1. Raise the material so the forks are at least 6 inches above the location at which you wish to place the load. Drive the forklift slowly until your material is above the exact location. While transporting a forklift, always remember to have the forklift in neutral with the brake on before moving your forks. Drive slowly. And ensure the material is stable and secure. Tip overs. Although tipping your forklift over may be a rare occurrence for most operators, you must always be aware of the risks of tip overs. The following are just a few causes of tip overs. Driving on an incline improperly, speeding and braking suddenly, exceeding the load limit, and transporting an unstable load. While there are many ways you can tip over your forklift, the actions you take during a tip over should always be the same. When tipping over, your first instinct may be to jump off, but this will likely cause serious crush injuries or even death. Always stay in your seat and do not attempt to jump off. While remaining in your seat, try to lean away from the direction the forklift is falling and hold onto the steering wheel to try to remain stable. Never try to use your arms and legs to brace the fall, because that is how you will sustain a crushing injury that will likely result in broken bones. Transporting material while on an incline is a common way you can tip over your forklift. This usually happens if you are trying to make a turn on an incline, shifting the center of gravity of the forklift to the side. Another way you can tip while on an incline is trying to lift or lower material. Lifting or loading material while on an incline will cause your forklift to tip forward. Even as an experienced operator, you may feel tempted to speed in order to accomplish more in a shorter time. Not only does speeding put others in danger, but it also increases the risk of tipping over your forklift. If you encounter an obstacle in your path, your braking will be more abrupt if you are speeding. As a result of your abrupt stop, your material and forklift will become unstable, causing your forklift to tip forward. It is also imperative that you are aware of the material you are transporting. If you transport something that exceeds the weight limit of your forklift, its center of gravity shifts, making the forklift unstable. You must also be aware of your material stability. Your material may be unstable if it 1. Is not properly centered, and 2. Is moving or loosely held together. The unstable material will eventually affect your forklift, making it tip over sideways or forward. As the operator, you should always be aware of your material weight and check to make sure it is stable before transporting it. Module Review. In this module, you learned about important safety features of forklifts, as well as how to start, stop, and make safe maneuvers when operating them. You learned about the stability triangle and how keeping a load within it prevents forklifts from tipping over. You also covered how to act if your forklift begins to tip over. Some key takeaways from this module include: a forklift is the most common type of powered industrial truck that is intended to move, push, pull, lift, and carry material. Data plates contain important information about your forklift, including the maximum load capacity, hazard designation, and operating weight. Always know the lowest maximum capacity for your forklift before lifting or carrying a load. Keeping a load within the stability triangle of your forklift enables safe transportation. Your forklift's data plate will give you all the essential information you need to know to safely operate your forklift. And never attempt to jump out of a falling forklift. Forklift Operator Evaluation Checklist. Congratulations on completing the final module of the course. Before you continue to the quiz and final exam for the course, download the Forklift Operator Evaluation Checklist. Once you have completed the final exam, it's time to apply what you have learned in the course. Provide the Forklift Operator Evaluation Checklist to your supervisor or trainer so they can assess your technical proficiency.
Download. Okay. This powered industrial truck operation evaluation form. Okay, this is the checklist. For example, operator tasks, perform operator inspection checklist, good, fair, poor, not available, look for damage, good, fair, poor, not available, document all finding on checklist, good, fair, picking up the load, page number 1, page number 2, putting down load, parking, fully load. Okay. Okay, this is a quiz for module number 6. This is the quiz for module 6. Which of the following options is an approved use of the forklift? Lift the load. Before operating the forklift, check the data plate for the forklift maximum capacity and other essential information about the forklift. Number 3, the mast is the part of the forklift that maneuvers the load by lifting, lowering, and positioning. 4, the maximum load capacity of the forklift must be based on the lowest maximum capacity of any of the parts of the forklift. The 3-point suspension system that supports the forklift is referred to as stability triangle. Okay, now we passed this one. Okay, the next question is the next one is the final exam. The final exam, it will be 20 question, passing score 70. Okay, you will not able to return to the consulting until you will be continue. This is the assessment. Okay, let's pause this one. Okay, we will record now the final exam. The final exam, the dot on the forklift help ensure load don't fall reward towards you while driving. This is the must. Okay, forklifts with dot tire are typically designed to be used in outdoor environment. Small, heavy, pneumatic, and fusion. So small is not accepted. Okay, so heavy, yeah, it can be, and pneumatic, it can be Hawaii, okay, or fusion. So no. I think it's heavy for outdoor. You are about to drive your forklift through a congested area. What you should do? Switch to reverse, move any object out of the way, and warn the pedestrian airplane. Yeah. Okay. Before traveling outside with your forklift during the winter, which of the following steps you should take? Ditch any attachments you were using, close all covered properly, change your tire, put the forklift in it, close all covers properly. Dot are designs, question number 5. Question number 5. Okay. Question number 5. Dot are designed to prevent operators from being thrown outside the protective caging during the tip over. Masts, operating restraints, cushion tires, pneumatic operator restraints. Dot is the idea that braking suddenly, making sharp turns, or driving at fast speed can alter the center of the gravity on the forklift. Stability triangle is the idea of that the braking suddenly, making sharp, yeah. The stability triangle. Okay, the stability triangle or the fulcrum principle or the dynamic stability, longitudinal stability. I'm not sure of this one, but it's okay. Let's take it. In addition to corrective maintenance, dot is crucial to maintain your forklift. Washing the cabinet, daily maintenance, preventive maintenance, using a premium fuel. Okay, this is must charge. Okay. Okay. In addition to corrosive maintenance, dot is crucial to maintain your forklift. Washing the cabin, daily maintenance, preventive maintenance using a premium fuel. To corrosive maintenance, okay. Preventive, I think. And or daily something in addition to corrosive daily maintenance. Let's take it that you change the attachment on your forklift and the new one is heavier than the attachments you are using. Which of the following is true? You are changing the attachment in your forklift, the new one is heavier. You can no longer drive at the same speed you were driving before. You can no longer transport the same weight material you could carry earlier. Yeah. The forklift is now At risk of tipping, you use an incorrect attachment of the forklift. Your operator. Okay, you are, yeah. OSHA requires that the forklift operators receive a refresher performance test every 3 years. Which of the following hazards should you watch out for while operating an internal combustion engine forklift? Oil leak, spills, dead batteries, both oil leak and spills. Maintenance must always be done in the middle of the facility, in a designed area, at the end of the shift, at the beginning of the shift. At the beginning of the shift. The dot on the forklift is positioned above the operator seat and protect, it is the overhead guard and protect it from certain accident impact. Which of the following means it is against federal law for you to operate the forklift? You are under 18. Yeah. You have not been probability. Yeah, both A and B. When traveling near another forklift or machine, you should keep about, away from each other. 6 feet, 10 feet, 3 track lengths, 5 track lengths. I don't remember this one, but I don't know. I think 6 feet. I'm not sure. You need to determine the measurements of the overall width of your forklift. Where can you find this information? You need to determine the measurements of the overall width, the tire, the mass, the backfill, the data plate. If you are driving your forklift on an incline without material, always drive with the forks pointing upgrade, pointing downgrade, pointing forward, pointing backward, pointing down. Electrical forks are powered by large batteries. While performing your daily pre-operation inspection and checklist, you find small visible defect. What should you do before operating? Note the defect on your pre-operation attempt to fix. Notify the supervisor or someone who is authorized to perform maintenance. If the center of gravity shifts outside of the stability triangle on your right, left, or left side, your forklift can tip forward, make a sharp turn, accelerate, tip over sideway. If your substance shift outside of the stability on your right or left, it will be tip sideways. The fulcrum point is located at the front axle, mast, back restrained, operator restrained, front axle. Let's submit and see. So this is the correct answer. We must revise it. The dot on the forklift help measure loads don't fall forward towards while driving. Must. This need to be modified. The forklift, this one is wrong, also need to be modified. This one is correct. You are about to drive through a congested area. Move the object. And this one, before traveling, close, is correct. This one, operator restraints that protect him from falling. This is the idea that I was thinking. This one is not correct. In addition to corrosive maintenance, is crucial maintenance your forklift. Daily maintenance, preventive maintenance, I think. This one also wrong, must change. This one also 3 years is correct. This one, both A and B need this correct. This one, at the beginning of the shift, maintenance must be always done. In the designated area, I think. The dot on the forklift is positioned above the operator and protected insertion accident overhead. Both A and B must be 18 and must we have the certificate. Okay, this one need also to be checked. This tire is the data plate. If your point downgrade is correct, this a large batteries. Okay, electrical. While notify the supervisor. Okay, if there is a problem, I must never. It will be tip oversized if it have problem. This is the fulcrum point located at the front axle. This correct. We will try, but we are very near. So that's all for this course. We will pass very easy by modifying this question and know the correct answer. After this, we'll try again. Okay, this is when we try to pass for the second time. We have got 90%. Let's check which of the following means it is against federal law for you to operate a forklift. Both A and B, if you are under 18 years of age, or if you have not been properly trained and certified. Forklift with pneumatic tires are typically designed to be used in outdoor environments. OSHA requires that the forklift operators receive a refresher performance evaluation every 3 years at a minimum. The fulcrum point is located at the front axle. In addition to corrective maintenance, preventive maintenance is crucial to maintain your forklift. Question number 6. You need to determine the measurements of the overall width of your forklift. Where can you find this information on the data plate? 7. Before traveling outside with your forklift during the winter, which of the following steps should you take? Close or covered properly. 8. You change the attachments on your forklift and the new one is heavier than the attachment you were using. Which of the following is true? You can no longer transport the same weight of material you could carry earlier. Number 9. If you are driving your forklift on an incline without material, always drive with fork pointing downgrade. Number 10. When travel near another forklift or machine, you should keep about 3 track lengths. This is the correct. The overhead guard on the forklift position above the operator to receive and protect you from a certain accident. Electrical forklifts are powered by large batteries. Dot is the idea that dynamic stability is the idea that braking suddenly, making sharp turns, or driving at fast speed can alter the center of gravity on your forklift. 14. The brake extension on a forklift help ensure loads don't fall reward towards you while driving. Number 15, if the center of gravity shift outside of the stability triangle on the right or left side, your forklift can tip over sides. 16, operator restraints are designed to prevent operators from being thrown outside the protective caging during the tip over. 17. Which of the following hazards should you watch out for while operating an internal combustion engine forklift? Both A and B, oil leak and spills. While 18. While performing your daily pre-operational inspection and checklist, you find a small visible defect. What should you do before operating the forklift? Notify the supervisor or someone who is authorized to perform maintenance on your forklift. 19. You are about to drive your forklift through congested area. What should you do first? Move any object out of the way and warn the pedestrian journey. Maintenance must always be done in the designated area. So yeah, we finished the course, we passed it, everything is okay. Thank you.